Noctem Skye.
Hello. Hi, good evening. Welcome. My name is Noctem Skye, and I will be your dungeon master tonight. We are here for a table flip with these wonderful people. Uh, I could do introductions, but I think I will just start right next to me and we'll go from there. Zolkdor, will you introduce yourself and your character, please?
Hey everyone, I'm CJ. If you know me from my Don't Stop Thinking channel, you would usually see me in my animated form, but I am just too lazy to animate a few hours of gameplay. So there you go. You have to settle with my ugly mug. So, well, that's it.
All right, and let's go over to Lonny, who's playing Hugh.
Hey, yeah, I'm Lonny from All Things D&D. I'm the writer and editor, and I'm gonna play Hugh the Rogue.
Ooh, thank you. We've got Stephanie playing Damthus.
Yes, my name is Stephanie, Steph Styles. I am representing Mad Bird Streams. Where we do, it's a channel where we do just a bunch of D&D shows over there as well throughout the week. So
nice.
Hello.
And we've got, last but not least, Ryan of Roll for Initiative, R for I.
Yeah, hello, I'm Ryan. I'm with Roll for Initiative. We make a bunch of videos about D&D and board games and Warhammer and book reviews and all kinds of geek culture affiliated type stuff. And we play games pretty regularly with the Mercs.
Now, before we get into the adventure here, a few notes, few reminders. All this month of June, our main dungeon master, Puck, has gone missing into the void. We hope he will be back in a couple of weeks. But in the meantime, we've got all these special events going on. So if you've missed any of them up to this point this month, be sure to check us out on YouTube to see great things like the Tales from the Loop game that was done narrated by our friend Ryan here, as well as, thank you very much for that subscription, as well as some other fun one-shots we have done. We've got part 2 of the new game from our friend Kevin, also known as Dirty 20 Gaming, in a system that he invented. Quite a bit of fun. That was on last night. Will be on again next Sunday. And then next Monday, our friend Mendari will be guest GMing a special one-shot as well. Also, this broadcast, as well as all of them this month, are sponsored by our friends over at Hero Forge. Be sure to check out heroforge.com and all the new things that come out. Probably new things tomorrow, as they generally drop on Tuesdays. We've recently been blessed with tons of new items that you can put. You can now put 2 items on the base. That's fantastic. And oversized wings, all of those wonderful things. So create your perfect mini from thousands of items and dozens of fantasy races over at heroforge.com. All right, without further ado, good luck.
Oh, that is my cue. All right, everyone. So we will start off at a humble beginning. Your party, as it has come to be, met while traveling, and over time, as you were all searching for a long-lost inventor and artificer known as Kwalish. Kwalish was legendary for his innovations in both magic and machines. And so now you are all, for various different reasons, searching to find him or any of his research. You met with a man in the mountains known as the Cartophile, and he agreed to give you information on where Kwalish was last seen if you agreed to take his monodrone with you, Gearbox, and allow him to map the area for him. Naturally, you agreed, and you followed that lead. So now, I will read a little excerpt because I do really like the way they wrote this. The mountains of the barrier peaks have grown steadily closer as you near the end of weeks of travel, making sure of the old notes and maps of Kwalish's failed expedition. Traversing a thick band of woods over the past several days, you've dealt with troublesome sprites by day and swarms of blood-sucking sturges by night. But finally, the trees begin to thin out as you enter the rocky foothills of the range. exactly as indicated on the original expedition's map, which was given to you, you find a cleft in the rocks that leads to the start of a twisting tunnel complex. As you prepare to enter, you bid farewell to the world of life and light as you leave it behind you. In front of you opens up a large area that looks like this. I will pull it over to the map screen for you. Boop. There. Can everyone see that?
Yeah.
Perfect. All right. So this is the mountains, or this is the cliffside approach that you're having. Floating hundreds of feet in the air at the center of the valley is a large island of rock. Enormous chimney engines extend from the bottom of the island, burning with fitful, deep red flames that appear to keep the island aloft. A series of odd structures rises up from the rock, appearing almost like metallic crystals. Farther down the cliff ledge is a flat dock on which reclines a female monstrosity with a humanoid head. A regal giant. Oh God, I always say this wrong. I always say it's a gynosphinx. I always want to say gyrosphinx. A matching dock thrusts out from the floating island across, but there is no way to bridge this gap naturally. So, with hundreds of feet open between them, this is one of the only areas that even comes remotely close. So yeah, you come through, your party is there, and you see this sphinx just kind of stretching out. It's huge. It is very, very large. And yeah, that is where we will open up.
Did you see that? Do you guys see the large lady? Do you think she'll be having issues finding a mate?
All right.
I think that's quite a big issue for her, isn't it?
It's hard to find big dudes, I guess.
Yeah.
You know, it can be an issue finding a mate for anyone with any size. Some people just don't have it.
You think she'll be friendly enough to have a talk, or you know what? Why don't we just call her out? Hello.
Okay.
All right, so you call out, and down near the dockside, you see one lazy eye open up as the gynosphinx looks up at you, and then lazily just waves over with one paw.
All right, and I just approach. Boom, 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 boom.
All right.
Okay, so what happens?
Is everyone approaching, or?
Guess so.
Yeah, I'll stay in the back-ish and see what happens.
All right. I love it. So as you get closer, you notice that something's a little odd about this creature. Whereas you would normally hear about gynosphinxes, just being these creatures, having a humanoid head, female head, and then the body of a cat. This one has that, but also has bits that seem to have been replaced. It seems to have suffered ancient injuries to its head, which have been healed and replaced by mechanical components. So there's gears, the eyes are glazed over with what almost looks like glass, like a blue glass. And it has these strange stones hovering around its head known as iron stones. As you approach, it, kind of stretches much like a cat and then sits up and greets you all. "Entreat with me," the Sphinx says. "If you wish to cross to the monastery, you do not if you wish to approach the monastery, you do not appear to be completely ignorant, and I would love to add your knowledge to my collection." Right.
Well, I know all the languages in the land for mud because my family, they are aficionados of all different forms of mud, of different humidity and density. Let me tell you all of them. Okay, so I started listing out hundreds of different ways of saying mud in their different in their different temperatures, different humidity, and different sort of stuff. Like how I think the Inuits have like how many words for snow. So yeah, I just list them all. That would be great topic for party breakers if you actually go to any parties at all.
And as you're talking, she lifts a paw slowly and she says, I do not require knowledge of languages. I already know all of them, she says as she just kind of lazily leans back. However, if you can confound me with a riddle of sorts, then I will allow you to pass. I presume that you are trying to reach the monastery, and she just kind of glances off in the direction of the floating island.
Yep.
Leaning over to Hugh. I don't suppose that she would be fine with the riddle of why we haven't left him bleeding in a ditch.
You know what? Go for it. Maybe you can say ditch in multiple languages.
Most likely.
All right. And she kind of notices you two talking off to the side. And she says, however, if you have nothing to offer to me upon yourself, then I could potentially withdraw knowledge from you. And she kind of gestures at the Ioun stones. That would also be an adequate token for passage.
We lose the knowledge when you withdraw it?
Yes.
Okay. Well, here's a riddle. Which one of my daughter is the one with the biggest family?
Would all your daughters not belong to the same family? It is one tree branching.
Well, not really, because my family is a whole village. It takes a village to raise a family.
Takes a village to raise something else, Zolto.
It's a big family.
How about a classic riddle?
My village.
And she hears you say this, she perks up and kind of looks and pays more attention.
I see that you have wings. So what can fly without them?
What can fly without wings? And she blinks and then looks. Time?
We're wasting a whole bunch of it.
All right.
Interesting.
No, Zoltor, if you let her take knowledge from you, think of all the fun you could have learning it all over again.
Well, that's actually a very good point. You know what? Since I'm the smartest one in the group, I can donate some of my intelligence.
Okay. Is this your final answer?
Well, why not? But you know what? Let's. I think this is the start of a good friendship. Okay, you can take a bit more extra. I'll give you 10% more if you want it, and we'll be friends. And what's your name, by the way?
I have no name.
Let's try one.
They have called me the Watcher of the Valley in times of old, but I have no need for names, only knowledge. And since you have agreed, she reaches out with a paw and touches your forehead, and there is a flash of light. And since you told her that she could take extra, you have a stat decrease of -2 to your intelligence going forward. And what happens is 2 small stones appear floating in front of your head, and she withdraws them away with her hand and puts them up by the others. And then her eyes widen and dilate, and you can see like turning cogs inside. And she says, "Ah, yes, this is satisfactory." And then she looks expectantly at the others.
Okay. You know, I think I'm actually quite happy that she appreciates my intelligence. Nobody think I'm smart actually.
No, we all do. It's, yeah.
It's great to feel appreciated.
So, when you say take knowledge, you mean like what I ate for dinner yesterday, or breakfast, or, you know, a birthday party I went to 10 years ago.
That knowledge is naturally included and is not always well. And she actually looks puzzled, and she kind of rolls over and like kind of like rolls on her back for a second.
Belly scratches.
And she'll say, I suppose all knowledge is useful. So yes, but all knowledge. If a mind were a library, then I would be taking a section away at a time.
whole section. That seems like a lot. You know, maybe 5 books. Would that be a good offer? Instead of maybe one shelf.
This one seemed to be perfectly content offering me 2.
Well, that's them. That's not me.
As she puts her head on her paws and leans in, and she's like, you could also just tell a riddle, and if you can stump me, I will allow you to pass without the payment.
See, that's the thing, is I don't really do riddles. So that kind of doesn't work for me. I guess, sure. I don't take more than you need to. But sure, you can take some of my knowledge.
Fair enough. And she leans in and touches your forehead, and there's the same flash of light, and a little gemstone appears floating in front of you, and you now suffer a -1 to... You lost a stat point in intelligence.
Okay.
And so now she's got 3. She pulls that one up, puts it above, same little moment of like, oh. And then she looks expectantly at the other 2, and she waves you 2 on. She kind of beckons you toward the dock, and she's like, you may pass. But she'll look at the other 2, Hugh and Dolus. What will your payment take the form of?
All right. Can I try and deceive her, claiming that due to a head injury, there's nothing up here? Just kind of following around. There's not enough intelligence to be worth her time.
You can certainly try.
All right, we're gonna go for that.
So just roll me a straight deception check, and just say what you'd say, and I will take it for what it is. Wow.
All right, so awesome, nat 20. So yeah, about 4 months ago, kicked in the head by a horse. Gone, blank slate. I wake up, I don't know anything.
And she kind of
Twitch
leans
is having
in.
Errors. Everyone hold for just a moment.
Twitch errors, no. But we're just getting to the good part.
No, we're starting off strong, right?
Oh, I love it.
I actually did this yesterday too.
Y'all, I did not expect half of you to pay this toll. I love it, though.
Well,
I love it.
Okay, looks like we're back.
Cool.
Okay.
All right, so we're like full on again?
Nerd says it's back.
I'm saying it.
Perfect. Okay, so yeah. Hugh just said that there's nothing in there. The Gyno Sphinx leans in and kind of scrutinizes really close with her eyes. And she just lets out a sigh. And she says, I know you're lying, but with an excuse like that, perhaps there's not much in there after all. And she ushers you past. She just kind of pushes you a little bit out of the way. You know, like a cat pushes something across the floor, just that.
Just baps you across.
Well, it's one push. And so that just leaves Dolus.
Great. Great. All right. What has roots but never grows, never wilts, and on it goes?
Roots. Would you be referring to language?
Sorry, ma'am. And he points at the mountains, and he walks to his friends.
And she'll slowly nod. Clever. And there's a little beacon on her forehead, and it flares. And if you look in the distance, there is a flash on the other dock. And slowly you begin to see what looks like a segment of the bridge coming across to you. It is not extending, it is like a small segment, but it is floating on the same kind of like engines that the island is floating on. And there appears to be a hooded figure with a long stick going nowhere, doing nothing, but still seeming to guide the boat. So that approaches. And when it gets there, the gentleman in the hood just doesn't say anything. He's just standing there.
Kwalish, I presume? I asked.
And again, he doesn't say anything. There's just a head shake.
Disappointing.
So, mechanical or is it a human?
The way he's wearing his hood, unless you got up in his face, you would not be able to see it. He is wearing it in such a way that obscures his face.
All right. Yeah, can I do that? Just go up to his face because, obviously Zubdor has no idea of personal space.
You are welcome to.
Oh, okay.
So you're going to approach this figure and you're going to kind of like lean in and try to look up under his hood.
Yep.
He does not move. And upon getting closer, you can see that this individual's face is disfigured, to say the least. It looks as though it was almost, you'd want to say, lashed. It's stripped away in parts almost to the bone, and what is left is just kind of stitched together, and he is expressionless. He is just standing there, not reacting. He doesn't try to stop you. He doesn't say anything.
All right. Can I maybe roll an insight to see if this is someone who is sentient, or is it a flesh golem or something like that?
You are welcome to, yes. Make that roll and let me know. And also, I wanted to just verify, Damthus, were you casting alarm to do anything or just in?
No, I accidentally pressed it.
Oh,
No.
you're good. Just making sure. All right. Hit me with that insight. All right. Well, then. With a 26, you know this is a broken man. This is a man who you don't know what happened to him, but all you can tell by the way he carries himself and the way he's acting, he's not there. You could do almost anything to this individual in theory, and you don't think it would elicit a reaction. It's almost as though he's a ghost, not literally, but figuratively. And yeah, that's really the long and the short of it.
All right, cool. I feel sorry for this man. I slip in my name card. If he's ever in trouble, you can call me. We will find help for you. And if you have issues, saying things, just show me this hand sign. We will understand. There's help coming.
All right. And yeah, I'm assuming you just like poke it in his pocket.
That's right.
All right. So
I'd like to think that this has happened multiple times over the last month or so. As he's getting finished with all of that, Oathkeeper reaches out and grabs Zolkador by the belt and pulls him back a little and leans forward and says, "Personal bubbles."
Woohoo! Yes.
Yeah.
I'm on the boat.
Yeah, do you all take
Yeah.
aboard?
Yeah, Danthos will get on the boat.
Yep, let's get on this boat.
All right. Once everyone is on the boat, the hooded individual makes a gesture with their long oar, if you want to call it that, and the boat just seems to slowly turn. He didn't do anything mechanically speaking. He did not turn a wheel. This stick is not attached to the barge, but somehow this is how this works. So it turns and slowly begins making its way up toward what you now know, based on the Sphinx's description, is called the monastery. So, oh my god, I love it. I love how y'all handled that. All right. So once you get over there and you begin to pull up, you see more of these hooded figures standing on the other extension of the dock. And there is a cluster of them. And actually, I will go ahead and swap y'all over to that map to make it a little bit easier. It's the same map we started on, but that'll give you an idea of, where everything is. And yeah, it's one of these things where you get over there and you begin to see that this is like, it's an island, but it's almost as though it was an island that formed around something else. Like, you've never seen anything like this. These spires and all these like buildings that are sticking out of it are shiny black, and you would almost say they look crystalline. And all around you see these robed figures like kind of crossing. Some of them are carrying loads of coal and other such. Some of them are just walking in groups between one building to another. And as you approach, there is one standing apart from a group behind him who is standing there to greet you. The only other thing I will make sure to point out is you definitely notice the large crystalline spire in the very center of the island. It far surpasses the size of anything else here. So, as you approach the barge, this individual beckons you off with open arms. And yeah, I will leave that there.
All right. And before we approach, can I look down? What's down there?
So, as you look down, you see mist. Like, you see it's essentially this whole range is a bowl around this island floating in the center. And in the bottom of this valley bowl, it is a thick, dense mist, and it is far beneath you. Like, it is the kind of fall that you would have a long time to think about whatever's on the other side of that mist before you ever got there. So, yeah, it's a doozy.
Okay. All right. So it's a bad idea to jump out of the boat then, off the island. Who knows?
Who knows? I mean, one would think.
There you go.
All right. Well, do you all come off the boat as he gestures to you?
Yep. Yeah, I'll walk up to him.
Howdy, boys.
Oh, all right. Greetings and welcome to the Grand Monastery. Are you here for business or leisure?
Well, depends on what you got for leisure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Business, though, I guess.
Oh, we do not have many business propositions nowadays. It is very interesting to have outsiders come. I suppose you would want to meet with the Grand Master himself, and he gestures behind him to the large spire.
Damn, this will look back at the rest. Sure.
Okay.
I was actually here for the crystal spa therapy.
And he kind of narrows his eyes of what you can see of them, at least, because you can tell because you're up close to him, he has the same visage as the previous individual. It is not, he is actually talking to you, but he is in the same shape. And he narrows his eyes and he said, "Ah, here for leisure then, I see. Well, you're welcome to partake in all of our activities after you meet with the Grandmaster with your friends if you'd like."
Sure.
What exactly are all of the activities at our disposal?
Oh, we have many, many, many amenities here. You wouldn't believe what we can do for your skin. And he just kind of trails off. But we also have many things to stimulate the mind. Like, there's a quick shift. Like, he trailed off, then he was like, yes.
Like massage, saunas.
I believe massage would probably be the most appropriate term.
Okay.
Yes.
And yeah, he will begin turning, unless anyone like stops him for any reason, he will begin to turn and start walking towards the spire.
No.
I don't really trust this guy, guys. I don't really trust those guys.
Mm-hmm.
I think we should be a little cautious with the massage therapy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or Zuto can go first.
Okay, I will go first, as usual. It's alright. I got
Sounds
healing
good.
spells. I know why I need it.
Doing good. You're doing good.
Okay. Okay. So as I, I assume he directed me into the monastery where the Grand Master's office is. Is that right?
Yes, he will lead you, if you all follow, he will lead you up to the spire, and he will walk you up to the door and then gesture towards it. And it is a massive set, like, I'd say they gotta be like 20 to 30 feet tall, massive set of cathedral doors that are closed. They're not open at the moment. And it just is set into this large, just black, like, it's almost so black that you feel like you could like put your hand into it, spire.
All right. As I go along, can I just like go around to spot if maybe use my perception to spot if any of them are armed? Do they have weapons? All these monks.
Ooh, all right. So for that, give me a perception check, please.
All right. Let's see. That would be.
That'll do it. So you notice that some, not all, but some of these monks appear to have, because they're all wearing the robes, and you'll notice that a lot of them are carrying staves, but with that roll, you can also tell something's different about some of these staves. They look almost like they were built out of like scrap metal in some places, if you could like think about that. There's an odd mechanic nature to it, and on one end of it, it seems to be wider, almost like it just like a larger cylinder on the end. So it's certainly nothing you've ever seen before.
I want to...
Yeah, go for it.
No, I just wanted to say, sort of trying to get a feel for if there is a policing or a military presence or feel to any of the folks. And then also, this is called the monastery. I'm looking for religious iconography. Which of the gods is it?
Okay, now these are the questions. So again, for that, just give me another perception roll, but I will tell you what you all would have seen anyway while you were walking. Again, these are monks as far as you can tell, they all wear robes that would, you know, denotate any kind of monastery you've ever been to or heard of. You know, very simple. However, everything here seems to be either the black crystalline structures jetting out, or built onto those in some places are like, you've seen constructs in your time, Warforged and the such. It almost looks like the inner machinations of those occasionally just protruding from different places. With your roll, I will also tell you that you would have noticed there are thick, at first you might have thought like it was a snake or just a rope, but it is almost a thick, like rubbery line going from some of these places to the others. And they all seem to lead back to a room that appears to be in the side of the spire. They all connect into the side of it. As far as religious stuff, you don't see much, to be completely honest with you. Honestly, like from what you rolled, I will say you did not see anything specific. You just saw the robes, and the robes do not have any specific religious like emblems or symbols on them at all. If actually, I will say this: if you want to give me a religion roll, I can do something with that, perhaps.
Sure. It's just a straight roll. Why is it giving me two? Why is it giving me two rolls?
It's set on advantage. So what I do when it's that is I just take the first number. It's not a big deal.
The lowest, whichever the lowest.
But with that one though, especially you, like you serve your king, correct? I just want to make sure I'm right.
Yeah, king then god.
Yep. Okay. So you serve your king, but you know enough about gods and religion. And when you see this monastery and you see the fact that not one, but two, and then as you look around, every glimpse you catch, you see everyone who's walking around has a face like this. This is not a one or two people thing. This is everyone from what you can tell. And with your role, you know that sometimes in some religions, people will allow themselves to be touched by their god in such a way that may leave them disfigured. I will put it like that. And it is something that some people look at as a blessing. Some people have it forced upon them. It is not, you don't know what specifically it would like be, as far as like you can't think of the religion, but you have heard of it in like teachings.
Are they all roughly the same size?
They are all varying sizes. You see some that appear very short and stout. You see some that seem even larger than Dolus, and he's a Goliath. You see some who are, human-sized. And again, the more you look, the more you realize that it's a bunch of different types of people. It is not like one group. It is not one race. It is a bunch of different people from different places, you presume, but by the shape, purely.
Hey, well, everyone can have their hobbies, but this is becoming quite concerning. Right, I see. Okay, so where are we being led to?
So if you leave, are you asking the robed figure who gestured at the door?
Yep.
This is my master's chamber. If you wish to speak with him, you may enter, and he will find the best way to suit your needs.
You don't need to be penciled in, or there's not a schedule. Don't need to come back later.
No schedule here. At the Monastery of the Distressed Body, we take anyone at any time. It is very rare that we have visitors.
You said distressed body?
Yes. The mortal coil which we all share is but a piece of flesh and meat and is imperfect. If you see the master, you will understand what perfection can truly be.
All right.
I will say for the rest of the party, you may or may not remember that the way Dolus prays for his spells each morning is he flagellates. He flogs himself with his flail until he's bleeding. And then he puts his armor on, and that's how he gets his spells. And so Dolus puts his hand out on the escort's shoulder and says, finally, something on this accursed island makes sense.
Oh yeah, well then if that, I must have missed that one bit, but yeah, you still don't know who they do this for, but you do understand that concept, or at least as you understand it.
Of self-flagellation. But this seems to be like God-touched.
You don't know. All you know is that it looks similar to what happens when you do that to a person, but you have no way of knowing at what hand or how it was done.
Okay.
Antis is going to kind of shrink back to the back of the group.
All right. Before he leaves, can I ask him what is his master's name? Is it Kwalish?
Kwalish. I don't believe I've heard that name before. No. This is the resident of the Grand Master. He is the one who created all of this.
And his name?
The Grand Master, we would not call him anything else. He would not have it.
Okay. He's a mean boss. All right. Okay, well, run along now. I shoo him away.
He will not leave, but he will step to the side and let you to the door. Essentially, he will just stand off to the side, but he does not take his eyes off of you, not in such a way that you feel like he's like listening into what you're saying. He just genuinely seems like he's just expectant, is I think the appropriate term.
Okay, this may be rude, but can I cast a detect trap, find trap?
Oh yeah. You can play D&D as much as you want.
Okay, find trap.
I usually cast detect trap by letting Zolkthor walk first.
Well, I learned that the hard way, so this time. All right, so it's got 120 feet range, and I sense the presence of any trap within range that is within line of sight. So I guess I'll have to open the door a bit and cast a spell.
Okay.
And completely rude.
Okay, so you want to open the door and then cast detect traps.
Yeah, find trap.
All right. So, upon pulling this door, you realize you cannot open it. You pull on it and you pull on it, and it just won't budge.
I push on it.
Upon pushing on the door, it opens.
Oh, that's
and
smart.
the monk off to the side just.
You really should think about putting a sign up, just writing on it which way you need to.
He never listened
Who puts
to
pull handles on there?
They never listen to my suggestions.
I've been there, man.
And so, yeah, upon pushing the doors open, they open inward, and it is remarkably... It is not dark in here, but the outside of this, the crystalline structure that is so dark that it almost looks like you can see through it, or put your hand through it, is what lines the entire walls of this large room. which I will put on your map for you so you can... Well, I mean, the map is just to show you the scale. There's not any like images other than what you'll see there. So upon looking in here, the first thing you notice is this room is remarkably empty. Like, it is flat. There's nothing in here protruding at all. But you do see a large metallic circle in the center that is inlaid in the floor, and you see those same cords running from the side of it alongside some gear work up to what is at the back of the room, which is a large throne with a bone devil sitting atop it. Now, you open the door. How did everyone handle this door opening? Because you are casting detect traps.
Yep.
Dantus was in the back.
Yeah, I'd like to sneak behind our lead clerics and just kind of hide in the Goliath's, silhouette, basically.
Hide in the shadow of the gods. All right.
I mean, I have the door open. If nobody goes in, I actually like Oathkeeper likes this place. It feels like home. And so he just walks in.
All right.
I mean, I'm big and I'm used to getting hurt, and if something attacks me, that's my best day. So he just walks in.
Mm-hmm. So let me address Zulkdor first, and then I'll go from there. Zulkdor, upon casting Detect Traps, you do not detect any traps in this room. You do get an odd magical aura off the big circle in the center, but it is not like the magical feeling you get off of it. It is not a trap. You do, however, with that, think that it would open, maybe, if the right, things were to occur. So that's what you got out of casting that. And then upon walking in, you will be greeted by this bone devil. And I will say he has two very, very large, like they are about as large, maybe slightly smaller than Dolus, but they are two large half-orc monks, and they are way bigger in every sense than any of the others that you've seen. Like, they are like hulking, and they both have large well, you're a little far away, so I'll wait till we get a little closer. But as soon as you enter the door, though, you hear a large, "Oh, welcome, welcome. It's so good to have visitors. We never do anymore. I don't know why." And he's just this huge, sprawling, like, skeletal being. And let's see. Actually, I can show it to you in your journal. Boop. This is exactly what he looks like. And let me know. You should be able to move your character pieces. Can you move them? Verify for me. This is the one thing I was not certain about.
We do not have whatever room they're in to show to the audience right now, just so you know.
Oh, let's see if I can fix that. Oh, right. They're not on that map. Thank you. I am so sorry, y'all. I forgot that I had to move y'all over.
It's okay.
I can move a piece. Yeah, I can move a piece.
Perfect. So you are all in this room. This is the room, sorry. And if you zoom out, you'll be able to see the full scale. And yeah, that image I just showed in your journal is what you see ahead of you. And yeah, as you get closer, you're still early on. So yeah, he's just kind of rambling, and it's just like, he'll lean down kind of to his guards, and he'll be like, the last time we had visitors, I can't even remember when it was. It was so long ago. And then he'll lean over to the other one, and he's very large. Like, to them, they are probably the size of maybe his like torso. And so you know, he's just kind of, but he's flopping around on this throne, very odd. It looks very unnatural. And he's wearing an odd cloak. And I will say, do y'all like?
I get to the lip of the circle before I stop to introduce myself.
All right. Does everyone follow suit, or is someone staying in the back?
So yeah, I'm gonna follow right behind Dolus. That stealth roll was to, you know, stay right behind him.
Oh yeah, I will say you are the knight. You are. If he has a cape, you're in it. Like you are up in him, as far as like stealth is concerned.
Dantas is putting up his hood for the cloak of Elvenkind that he has, and is going to kind of back and to the side.
All right, cloak of Elvenkind. So yeah, that'll give you better stealth checks. And yep, okay, perfect. So, all right, and Zolkdor, how are you handling this new situation now that you know that it's not exactly a trap, but it is something?
Oh, okay. Right. Can I figure out, you know, what does this mechanism do? What sort of role can I make?
Let me think to what that would be. That is an excellent question. I'd almost say that would be either... It's either going to be an intelligence check, or maybe I'll say you can use either intelligence or investigation. It's going to be one of those, though, to figure out what this is.
All right, intelligence, investigation. Pretty much the same. I don't have any intelligence skill, but all right. Yeah, I'm gonna cast guidance on myself as I make this flow.
Perfect. All right, so that's a 14.
14. Yeah.
Okay, so with a 14, you still don't know what this is. You've never seen something like it. However, as you're kind of looking at it and really thinking, you do remember one time seeing something that was like a telescopic eye that when you twisted it, it kind of would seal up and close in with shutters all the way in, and when you twisted it again, they would come out and then it would open the shutter. And this looks oddly like that for some reason. So you don't know what it does or why, but you do know that it might open like that.
Okay, you mean like aperture of a camera, something like that?
Yeah, something like that, but with metal like pieces that lock in. And so, yeah, so, all right, got everybody. And Dolus, you are greeting this entity, you said?
Yeah. So Dolus kind of stops there, sort of at the edge, because he's not entirely sure what it is, but sort of loudly introduces himself and says, "Greetings, my name is Dolus, called Oathkeeper, under the rule of King Hekanon and Boatswain of the Demeter. I am here to find news, or perhaps the personage of Kwalish. These are my good companions, and that is Zolkdor."
Oh, he called me good. Oh, good companion. It's an upgrade. Oh.
And he was again flopping around. He leans up, and his head kind of hangs to the side a little bit, and he opens his mouth. But it looks like it's just a little too wide. But as he speaks, that's what happens, and he's saying, "Oh, so quite a regal visitor indeed. I never know what's going to come through that door. I never know. how are you? What brings you to the monastery? And then
Can I try to get a feel for how this is going as far as like
yeah, do an insight check.
Insight.
That'll be an insight check.
Oh, sorry. Clicking on the wrong thing.
Yes, I love it. All right. So, first of all, I'm going to tie 2 and 1 here because I'm going to say that you're really like looking closely at him. So, as you're looking closely, first of all, something's very unnatural about this being. You've dealt with fiends before. You're a cleric. You've slain them. You've talked with them. You've done less talking with them and more slaying of them. So you know kind of how they operate. And while he does have some of the theatrics that some of them, facilitate, he almost seems unreal. Something about him is off, and you just can't place it. Also, along with that roll, as you're looking close, you are just close to make out that cloak is patchwork, but it looks like tan or beige. You can't really tell, but it is certainly, looking at it gives you a very odd feeling.
Can I... Oof. Wait. Do I have it this morning? I do. I would like to cast See Invisibility.
Okay. So
one spell. So that's just my. It's just on myself. The lasts for an hour.
Yep. I can go ahead and tell you that as you cast the spell, 1, nothing's different. There's nothing unseen here as far as anything invisible.
Okay.
And he notices you casting the spell, and his head whips around, like literally flips around in a circle like an owl, but more vertically. and it just kind of rests like on, that. And he's like, casters, so perhaps your mind would be more used to us than your body. You want to know more about the one known as Kwalish? That name has not been uttered here in a long time. And he just kind of uncomfortably trails off as his head, again, it just kind of like hangs almost.
You know what? Well, I mean, I will look at my 2 friends and Zulkdor and see if they're doing anything.
Okay, right. So, is that natural? Is that supposed to happen to fiends? I haven't seen fiends for a really long time. Do you mind if I go and check it out for you?
Are you talking to the Grandmaster?
The Grandmaster, yep, as I approach.
Sure, you're welcome up here. I love visitors. Please do come. We have much to discuss.
All right, okay, so yeah, I will pay attention to the reaction to the 2 other orcs as I approach.
So I will say, as you get about where you are, if you try to...
following him unhappily.
As you get any closer, like if you try to continually get closer, he will say, and his hands do the same thing. They kind of spin on the wrists. And he's like, you must understand, East and West Wind are awfully touchy about me. And the guards do, like, as you try to approach, they kind of stand more firm. So Yeah, and I will say, now that all of you are this close, also, anyone feel free to let me know. Like, I know y'all are following, so I'm assuming, Hugh, you're staying, like, right up under. All right.
Yep.
And then, Damphus, are you just kind of using that cloak and hanging off to the back, or?
Yeah.
Okay. So, continuing. Now that you are all this close, that cloak is made of faces.
Mhm.
Unmistakably, no question about it, that cloak has all forms and variations of humanoid faces sewn together in looks of horror. And it is just draped around him as he continues to flail about as he discusses this with you. And he will continue. I see that you all came here willingly. It is so wonderful. Not many people do anymore. I do say, though, if you wish to know anything about Kwalish, we will have to work out a deal. You see, I always need more help here at the monastery. It's so hard to find good help these days. And he kind of leans back.
Can I
still look?
Yeah, can I look around to see if, as we got closer, more monks showed up, the doors closed behind us, anything weird?
The doors did shut behind you. You did not, like, it wasn't forceful, it just happened. And there you do, if you're looking around, you notice there is nothing else in this room. It's all this, like, galaxy black material. And then in the floor, there's these odd sections where, like, it's metal flooring, but there are some sections where it's, like, torn up and you can see that there are, like, odd things. It's wires, but you guys might not have seen wires before. So to you, it just might look like odd lines in there, and then gears and the such. And yeah, and off to the right of all of you, there is another set of doors, not as large as the last one, and these are steel. Like, these are like bolt doors, completely solid. And yeah, they are closed currently, but there is no one in here other than you all, this individual and his two guards, as far as you know.
What are the guards again, by the way? I'm sorry.
They are half orcs.
Okay, but are they're the weird, like, their skin is super scarred and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, they still have some of this scarring. I will say that you note, now that you're looking, that it is less, significantly less even. They still seem to be mostly intact.
And the folks outside, and then I guess these orcs and all of that kind of stuff, are they living still, or do they give an undead vibe?
I'd say you're a cleric, so you probably either have a spell or some way of knowing this, so I'm going to let you know, no. None of them give off an undead feeling. Okay. However, your cleric senses are off the charts because something's off about this place. Like, you do what you do for worship, but something about this feels very different. And again, can't quite put your finger on it. Also, now that you're all this close, you notice that these two guards, who have been labeled East Wind and West Wind, are both carrying large blades that, again, they look like they're made out of, like, pieces of metal, like, that have been, like, just stuck together. And there's very sharp edges on one part of it, but it's just like there's odd gears sticking out of parts of it, and there's some very, like, bright shining stones in one of them. Again, not like any weapon you've ever seen before. They are long swords, but they are very alien to you.
Right.
Okay.
Business time. I guess, we will sort this out. How much do you need? How much money? It's all right. We'll sort you out. Tell us about Kwalish. We need to find Kwalish.
And he cocks his head, and he's just like, money? I don't need money. You silly, silly frog. I have everything I could ever need, except help. You do see, this place takes a lot to run. Floating islands don't just happen, you know. Well, they do, but not like this. And he gestures, and he'll say, the minimum I can offer you, or take from you, so to speak, and again, his head just kind of like rocks back and forth, is 1 year of service from one of you, either with your mind or your body at this wonderful monastery. You will be doing a great service to the world, keeping it aloft.
How about my son-in-laws? There are some son-in-laws I'm not too particularly fond with. I'm happy to spare them for you.
Son-in-laws. All right, perhaps this could be arranged. And his wrist like flips around, and he goes back to stroking his chin. However, I will not be able to allow you to leave without having someone here to assure that you come back, of course. One of you will have to stay. It's only fair. You've already seen the majesty of this place. Did you see the Gynosphinx? Crazy, right?
Yeah, and what is your relationship with the Sphinx?
Oh, that is one story, my friend. The Gynosphinx resided in this area, and after a scrape-up with it, I helped repair it. And now she serves as my guardian for this place. It's quite a wonderful deal. And again, just that weird head rock. And then it goes to one side, and it just kind of like sticks for a second. And then he just kind of pops it back. She gets knowledge and I get protection. It's perfect. She uses both body and mind, you see. That's the true gift. So what will you be giving today?
Oh, okay. Well, I really don't have much to offer besides that. How about this? Can you give us something for free, pretty please?
I've already graced you with my presence. And he smiles, and it's just teeth. Very large, sharp teeth.
Oh, cool. I take a few steps back, and yeah, maybe just in the back of my mind, I'm readying some spells, and I'll just confirm with the others. I think we are in a bit of a trouble, guys. I think this thing wants a bit of a tussle with us if we want to leave this place, because this is looking like a trouble to me.
So, can I see the wires running to him? Like a puppeteer, Pinocchio kind of situation here?
You're over on that side. You can see they are not, I mean, you cannot see under him, but you can see that they are attached to the throne. As far as from the angle you can see, they do not directly attach to him, as far as you can tell.
I look at the other three and give them all a second to say something. And again, I'm guessing if we've all been together for about a month or so, you all know that Dolus has a bit of a temper and does not suffer this kind of stuff to happen much. And then, yeah, he just turns and says, "Oh, for the love of Tempest, I'm done." And I cast Scorching Ray at the one on the left.
All right, let's do it, folks. It's time to roll for initiative. See what I did there? after your
Hey, I love that. Roll for initiative. That sounds so cool.
Oh, God.
crazy. All right, everybody. So I will say this before you roll initiative. There is a way I want to set this up because I have never done this, but it is so useful. So what you'll do is you'll pull open your character sheet, and then you will click on your character token, and it will put a little like dotted box around it, and then go back to your character sheet. And when you click initiative on your character sheet, it should put it in a turn order. It should automatically put it in turn order. If not, I can add you automatically. This is just the easiest way that I know to do it, as I have come to understand.
Click on the token on bio and info.
You click on the token on the actual map.
Oh, gotcha.
Yep,
Sorry.
yep. Oh, it's all good. There you go. All right, so I should probably also do this for these guys because...
No, they all go last. It's fine.
Right? I guess.
Oh, my token is... I just have a giant... Oh, there's 2 of me now. I'm
It's
sorry.
okay, I can get rid of one of them.
Yeah, get rid of the one on the bottom.
Gotcha. Ooh.
I'm not sure how.
All right, let me get rid of Damphus.
Hell yeah.
Or not Damphus, Dolus. All right, so yeah,
Motherfucking first.
all right, cool. Just got to get East one.
No, why did it get a 20? That's not fair.
Who knows? There you go, perfect. All right, let me roll these last 2 for them, and we will be in it, folks. Am I sorry? No, you made your choice, but still, I'm excited to see where it goes. All right. So we've got Scorching Ray. Did you just put that in chat?
No. Let me get it. I didn't want to click it if I wasn't going first.
It's all good. Well, I'm gonna take that as you got an attack of opportunity.
I'll take it. I'm not gonna argue too hard.
So
Double deuce.
all right. That. And you're aiming at this one right here.
Yes, sir.
All right, so that is East Wind. And that is a 22 to hit, which does hit. And oh, it didn't roll damage. Let me
I think I can do it if I click on it. 2d6 fire. Oh no. Man, I'm wasting good rolls. I'm sorry.
It's all good. Oh, what is that?
There you go.
There you go. So
Crap.
it does 4
Crap
damage. All
Yep.
right. So he'll take the 4 damage of a fiery nature. And and then we will move on in the turn order. So it is the Grand Master's turn. And as soon as you do this, he will lean back in his throne and be like, "Tut, tut, tut, that simply isn't fair. We were so kind in allowing you to be here and see this majesty. I do not have the patience for this." And he intertwines his paws and just leans back. And he's not doing anything. He is just allowing whatever's happening to happen so far. So now we will move on to West Wind. So, having seen you just send a scorching ray over there, actually West Wind is she is going to go after one of your party members, knowing that her brother will be able to handle the others. And she will move up, and she is going to make a multi-attack with her longsword. 1, 2, 3. So, does a 23 and a 21 hit?
No, they both hit. Yep,
Just
that's-
barely.
All right, so it did not roll damage, so allow me to adjust. So that is 1d8 plus 3. Yep, all right. All right, so that is 12 for the first one. Or wait, 8. No, that's 11 for the first one. And 7 for the second one. So 18 damage total of a slashing nature from this long sword as she runs up and she's hulking and she pulls out this blade with this glowing gem in it, and it's moving so fast it's almost hard to understand because it almost appears like it's phasing as it just goes and all of you know is you were hit hard. And so, yeah, that would be her turn. So now we'll move on to Dolus, who, after firing this, is still raring and ready to go. So what you doing, bud?
Yeah, so looking at the map here. Crap. Yeah, looking at the two options. Yeah, I'm gonna assume that I've done this before with Hugh, so I'm gonna set things up. So I will close in here with, what is that? Is that West Wind?
That is East Wind.
Yeah, I'm gonna close in with East Wind. And then staying within range, sort of skirt, so that I can be here. I think 1, 10, 15, 20, okay, 30. Nope, sorry, I can't go that far. Skirt so that I'm there. And as I'm closing, something that the rest of the party is fairly used to seeing, is Dolus sort of just opens his arms wide and rolls his shoulders, getting ready for the fight, even though he doesn't have anything in his hands, and can hear him say, "Tempest be with me." And this black iron and gold multi-tipped flail that has like a dozen or so barbed flail heads that hang off of it, and it's what he uses to channel his spells in the morning, just appears in his hand, and I close with him there, and I do believe, since I am closed up nice and close with him, I will roll Shocking Grasp. That's a touch attack.
All right, a 12 will not hit.
Alrighty. So that doesn't hit, unfortunately, but also as a domain of war, since I used a cantrip, I then have the ability to attack with my flail.
And I will say, as you pull this out, 17 will not hit either. So it just whiffs a little bit. But as you pull it out and use it, you do notice out of the corner of your eye that this bone devil atop the throne gets kind of excited and is like, "Oh, I can't believe a holy roller would use one of those. Maybe you and I are not so different after all." And again, his wrist is just spinning.
I love it. Dolus hates it. I love it.
All right. Is that anything else you want to do on your turn?
No, that's action and bonus.
All right. So Hugh, you've been left behind. You were under this cape, and then it's just and he's gone.
Nah, he knows I have his back. So I should be able to sneak attack it, right?
Oh yeah.
All right. So yeah, I'm gonna follow. Since he set up the sneak attack, something that we've done a bunch of times before this, and I'm gonna pull out a like a wicked-looking, sinister black dagger, and I'm gonna go for a sneak attack. False. Take number 2.
Right. All right. So sneak attack. Remind me because I forget. Sneak attack just does extra damage. It doesn't affect the actual initial roll. Correct?
No, it's just 5d6.
Yeah, okay, so yeah, you run up and you go in for this jab, but he is engaged with Dolus and just shifts slightly in trying to recoil, and the blade misses. Yes.
Do you not have, but I'm engaged, so you should have advantage.
Oh, is that what it is? Sorry, I thought the
Yeah.
sneak attack. So yeah, you do have that. Thank you for reminding me.
Anytime that he's got advantage, he automatically is allowed to sneak attack, which is why I set up the this.
Got it. That makes so much more sense. So then, yes, a 26 definitely hits, and you
Alright.
just come up and stab this dude. And this, as you stab, this dagger emits something, like it glows a little bit, and you see black tendrils, like almost in the veins, like kind of branch out from the dagger when you stab. And he will take. Can you roll damage? Yeah, there we go.
Oh, wait a second. Hold on, that ain't right.
All right. So is that the total amount, or is it that plus the sneak attack?
So that's the total amount of the 5d6, and then it also has the poison modifier on it from the dagger itself, which is, let me see, DC 15 Constitution saving throw, take additional 2d10 poison.
Yep. So he will make the con save. How is he with con? Not terrible. Let's see.
Ooh.
Okay, so yeah, he does manage to stifle, I guess his training and his devotion just naturally helps him not deal with poison. Sure, we'll go with that. But yeah, so he shrugs off the poison damage, but you do get him good in the side. So, is there anything else you wish to do for your turn?
So, and as a bonus action, I can hide.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to try and slip. That should be enough movement to slip behind him again.
Mm-hmm.
And roll for stealth real quick. Find it. Ah.
Oof. I will roll. What I'll do is I will roll, because the other two are engaged, so they're not really, like, they would have paid attention to you, but they're still engaged even though you stabbed one of them. So I'm just going to give the Grand Master a straight. I gotta remember, perception is wisdom, correct, or is it intelligence? I always get them mixed up. Wisdom. Okay, I'll give him a straight wisdom check. Oh yeah, no, he knows. He saw. So yeah, we'll say that's how that went. But you are behind him. And then it is over to Eastwind, who does not like how much y'all are wailing on him. So he is going to make his 3 long sword attacks. Same general idea. It's just that. So 23, does that hit on you, Dolus?
So 23 would hit, but since he's poisoned, I do believe he has disadvantage on all attacks and ability checks. That's what the poison condition does.
I don't think he's poisoned because he shrugged. He succeeded on the con
He
save.
succeeded. Then I'm stabbed. Then I got stabbed. I got hit with a longsword. That's what happened. I'm so sorry.
No, it's all good. I did not know that
trying
about
to figure out
poison.
what I was going to do next. Mea culpa, you hit me.
All right, so that hits, but I think, I mean, tell me if I'm wrong, but that's the only one that hits out of those 3.
Yeah,
It's
no,
23,
the other
11,
one's,
and 10.
the other one's hit, but it's just armor for days.
So yeah, he does that quick, weird phase move where it's just like, but again,
Nice.
none of it, or one of them finds purchase. So that will be 1d8 plus 3 again. So that is, that's 11 11 slashing damage.
I don't like it. I don't like it. Alrighty.
All right, so he did that, and he, as a guard, as he did this, he will actually make a step this way. He's staying in your range, but he is stepping in between you and his master. And then I will say that is his turn. So Damphus, what you doing?
Damphus is going to stay where he's at, but he's going to kind of bring up his hand and say, "Show yourself," and then put both hands out and do mirror image. And so he'll bring up 3 mirror images in his space.
Ooh, I love it. So to make this easy to understand, I'm just going to drag out 3 other tokens for you
Okay.
to make it easy. Boop. Boop. Oh, that was not... The token you are currently using is actually not the token I meant to give you.
Oh.
So I will just leave the... Actually, I'll give you your choice. Do you want to use that original one to differentiate and make it easy?
Yeah, that's fine. Mhm.
Let's do that then.
Yeah,
So
that's
here's
fine.
your other 3. You can
Okay.
position them however you want. You should be able to move them. Perfect. All right. So you got this. Are you doing anything else on your turn?
Nope. That's it.
All right. So we've got 4 Damphthis in play. Dampthi? I don't know the multiple of that.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Theseus.
All right, so now we're coming up on Zolkdor. Behind you, you just heard a spell was cast, and as you look over your shoulder, you see 4 Damphthis, or however we conjugate it. And yeah, you've just been slashed a couple times by this lady who ran up and just gave you the business.
Okay. Well, I've dealt with this sort of ladies at home, so I know how it feels. The best way to deal with this is to run away. Okay. I may take opportunity attack, but I'm going to risk it. And yeah, I'm going to cast Healing Word on myself.
All right.
Uh,
Let me roll this opportunity attack real quick just to see if it lands. That is a 12 to hit.
It misses.
Oh, perfect. All right. So yeah, you're just too slippery. You know exactly how to move. You get out of there, and so you cast Healing Word. All right.
Cool. So my Healing Words. I am back by 9, and yeah. Meanwhile, I'm just gonna point towards another direction. Hey, look there! And I cast let's see, Sacred Flame on this guy, the one they're fighting. Might as well. It usually works. That is DC 17 Dexterity save.
All right, Dex save. Boop. Nope, he does not make it. So he is hit with a Sacred Flame.
Alright, and that is... Yeah, that bonus for this. And it is 14 radiant damage.
Nice.
Right. Gotcha! Woohoo! Woohoo!
Yes, that hits him pretty hard. And so, yeah, he kind of recoils. He just was hit, with this, he was almost hit with this flail, and then he backs up and was stabbed, and then after repositioning, now he just gets blindsided by a Sacred Flame. So, yeah, he's still standing pretty firm, but he's definitely singed in multiple ways.
Well, feeling good, guys. Looks like everything's working in our favor.
All right. So, all right. So you've got that, and then we're back at the top of the round with the Grand Master. And oh boy. So yeah, he's over there, and Hugh, he saw you move behind Dolus, and he just kind of like leans, so he's at the edge of his throne, and he's just like, "That's not very fair. You need to stay out in the open." And you see he doesn't have, he's waving, but there's a stub. And right as you notice this, you feel something against your back. And I will let you know whether or not it is painful or just like a gentle caress. So that is going to be 2 claw attacks. Do 17s break your AC?
Yeah, they do.
So yeah, he's you just feel like rakes in your back from behind, and yeah, that's going to be 2d8 plus 4. So I'm just gonna roll 4d8 plus 8. That, I think that's easier, right? If I can get all of these overlays out of the way. Woo. So that is 24 slashing damage.
Right.
And yeah, he's just cackling and he's like waving the stuff and he's like, ah, and he just like lays back in the throat. He's like, you thought you were the only one with tricks. And yeah,
Ouch.
that's all his turn. He's gonna lean back and then it's Westwind back again. So having swung at Zolkdar and missed, and then seeing all of these tieflings in front of her, she is going to go into a fury and rush forward, and she is going to make her multi-attack. So what this will do, because she's aiming at these two, what we'll do is we'll make the roll to see. I'm not terribly well versed in that spell, but I know it's based on a roll, correct? To see if they hit.
It's based on a roll. If it has to make a 6 or lower to hit Danthus himself.
Got it. All right. So let's see if Westwind can do that. There we go. Longsword. So it's 3 attacks total. So 1, 2, 3. All right, so that's a nat 20, an 8, and a 10. So you said under 6 or?
Yeah, no, yeah, it has to make a 6 or an under in order to hit Danthus, since there are 3 of them.
To hit you first, and then
For the first one, that's correct. So for the first one, like, it has to be a 6 or under. If once that one's destroyed, it goes up as you have less mirror images.
Oh, okay. So the 26 will hit and destroy a clone. Correct.
Okay. Yes.
Okay. So then
it has to be an 8 or higher in order to hit a mirror image.
So the second one hits a mirror image as well. Correct.
Okay. And then it has to be an 11 or higher to hit a mirror image for the third attack.
Got it. All right. So, is it supposed to? Let me read it because I just want to make sure I'm not doing it wrong.
Sure.
So you're rolling, and the higher you roll, the more likely you are to hit a mirror. And it doesn't matter. Here's how we're gonna say it: destroys this one because the first one definitely hit a mirror image. We'll say in that fury also destroys the second one. The third one whiffs. So you've still got 1 mirror image left. I'm not getting bogged down in mechanics. That is not fun. So, yeah, you've got that last one there.
Okay.
And again, it's that flip, and it's just like 2 of them just shatter. And you're standing next to one more, and you've just got this large half-orc just like breathing down your neck. And Zolkdar, essentially like whoop, 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 like ran off. So yeah, you're there facing them. So that was that turn. So it's back to Dolus.
Okay, so with Westwind, Eastwind, Westwind, with the guy, with the dude in front of him. So I will seeing him take a couple of hits and all of that kind of stuff, brings his flail up for an attack. That's the first thing that happens. It's a 10. Has a second attack with his flail. 16. That doesn't hit, does it?
Nope. I'm gonna say neither of those do. Let me make sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know what? There's a short little murmur in Giant that nobody understands, and there's just this rage that overcomes Dolus, and as a war priest, he's going to use a bonus action to roll another attack, which he gets to do.
Oh yeah, that hits.
That's my anger.
That definitely hits.
It's a D8 plus 4 there. Sorry. Oh, I hit the wrong thing. All right, so there's 10 points there.
Mm-hmm.
That feels really good, and some blood and ichor splatters, and loves all of that. So we will now action surge.
All right.
And make 2 more attacks.
Ooh.
And then a natural 20.
Yes, please. Give me that damage.
So the 24 is... So the first attack is... So the first one is 6 points. And then the second one is... 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 points.
Perfect. All right. That's a good hit. So
And now as a war priest...
Oh my god, Rye.
a bonus action.
Oh my god, I love it.
A third attack. I can't do this all day long, but... and 13, that does not work. And I just need to double check one last thing. That as an Eldritch Knight, when I roll an attack, I'm able to cast a cantrip.
So while he's looking at this, I want to let you all know, you just see him like going ham on this dude. Like it was like at first it was just a whip, and then he kind of glows in rage, and it's just like boom, 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 and this guy's looking rough. And so, yeah, that is where he stands. Is that everything you're doing, Mr. Dolus?
Yes, I do. I do believe that is finally the end of my turn.
All right, clerics, everybody, and fighters. Oh boy. All right, so we got Hugh. So Hugh, you just got raked in the back by, it's the claw. And when you looked, you saw it for a split second, but it popped. Like it looked like, and then it was back on his wrist when you turned back around. And he was just like waving it. And he's like, hi. And so, yeah, that's going on.
All right, Dolus, you got this guy under control. So I'm going to slip over to where those cables run into the throne. I'm gonna try and problem solve this a little bit off the map. And so, what's it look like back there?
So what the throne looks like, the throne looks like just, again, an amalgam of machine parts, like just construct, like gears, and these wires are poking in, and they're just like, they just go into the side, like they're flush. There's no, like, it's not a plug or anything. They just feed into the back of this throne. And you can see where you're standing, that on the throne, there appears to be some, like, you've seen it again more with like Warforged, but there's some sort of like interface up there, like some levers and some like buttons and such. Now that you're up on it, you can tell that's what it was. From a little further back, it just looked like parts of the throne, but now you can definitely tell there's something up there, mechanically speaking.
Cut all of them.
Yeah, can I just like jam my dagger into it and see what happens?
Go for it. I'm not even gonna make you roll to try to cut a non-moving wire, so I'm gonna say that you cut through it. Actually, let's do this. Give me a straight like strength check just to see how many of these you can get through, because they are big. They're probably about this thick around. So I'm curious to see if you'll be able to just like one shot slice all these bad boys. All right, so with that, I'm gonna say you got one and maybe half into the next one. Now, I am going to say, luckily, you don't feel anything shock you as you cut through this metal wire. And yeah, as you cut it, he kind of leans over and he's looking over the edge of the arm down at you. It's about like maybe 10 feet up. So his head is like next to you. And he's just like, what you doing? I couldn't figure those out either.
Oh. Uh-oh.
Oh, all right. You doing anything else? Or are you just cutting those wires and facing down this dude?
Yeah, I'm just gonna cut the wires and regret making this decision.
All right, here we go. Let's see then. We got East Wind again. He is going to actually. All right. I'm actually going to use one of the actions here. So, amidst all of this, he has leaned over this bone devil, and he just cocks his head, and he sees out of the corner of his eye how badly like maimed up East Wind is. And so he just is like, good health is so hard to find nowadays. I never know. And he turns, and before you can even tell what's happening, the hands that were on him are not on him anymore. And the two monks are engulfed in these hands and drug back. And he opens his maw and tosses them inside. It just wide, just teeth all the way down the throat. And then, yep. Anybody could try to take a reaction to this.
Does that mean? So that means that the one East Wind leaves my area of influence.
Yes.
Do
you want an opportunity attack?
I don't like this. I would like an opportunity of attack, but just for fun. And unfortunately, this is a spell that that Roll20 did not have.
Okay, we can make it work.
But I will use this as a warcaster to just go no and cast Chromatic Orb.
Okay.
So this goes off of in. Oh God, what do you have to save against? Spells off of a Eldritch Knight is you. I cast spells against. Oh, just roll. No. It's an attack. It's an attack roll.
Mm-hmm.
It's a spell attack roll. Where do I just roll my spell attack on Roll20? I'm sorry.
Oh, it's all good. I will tell you this. You will do damage to him, but and I will say this specifically.
The damage of Chromatic Orb, 3d8 necrotic.
Okay. So yeah, I will say that you cast it. I will say because he's restrained, you hit. You don't even have to like do this. It's going to hit. He's right in front of you. But it does drain that life, but it's not because you're aiming for the actual monk, not the
it's the monk.
So yeah, even if you had maxed out damage, it's not going to down him completely. Okay. So it hurts him, but again, they are both drawn in and just devoured in one gulp. And then this bone devil begins to glow a bright red. Like it starts down in the center and fires up. And he stands up straight and he's like, oh, now the real fun begins. And that is where we're going to take a brief break.
Wow. Okay.
All right, folks. We'll be back in about 15 minutes. Please enjoy these messages from our people. All right, hope everyone is well rested. Our adventurers aren't. Things are about to get a little bit, I was going to say hairy, but I don't think this thing has hair.
Pony?
But before we get into the, I'm not going to say that. before we get back into the action, Skylar, remind us who we're playing with, and if everyone wants to tell us where they can be found by our audience.
We are playing with some amazing content creators tonight. I am a very lucky dungeon master. It is so weird to say that because I get to play with all of these folks tonight. We have Lonny from... oh, wow. Thank you so much. And we have Lonny from All Things D&D. Do you want to tell us kind of where they can find you and what you do over there?
Yeah, sure. So we specialize in narrated D&D stories. So we have our viewers submit them. We pull them from other places. We spice them up a little bit, and we're found on YouTube. And we just had a video go live earlier today. It's doing really well, so check it out. It's about players RPGing or role playing against a necromancer.
Ah, a man after my own heart. So yeah, go check that out. If you're watching on YouTube, all these links will be in the description below to find all these wonderful people as well. So let's move over to Steph. How about you tell us what you do over on your Twitch and such?
Absolutely. I'm here representing Madbird Streams, which we're a Twitch channel that we have, I think, 7 shows a week now, with more coming the way. 5 of those or 6 of those are D&D shows, D&D 5e. So yeah, we stream a lot during the week. So yeah, check us out over there. We also have a YouTube channel with all of our past content as well.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, go check out Madbird Streams. And then I'll hop on over to Ryan for Roll for Initiative, the number 4. That's important.
Yes. Yeah, I'm Ryan with Roll, ROLL, number 4 Initiative, and we all of our videos are on YouTube, and it's dungeon diaries and monster videos, stuff about Warhammer, painting tutorials. We even do book reviews and game reviews and all that kind of stuff. So really, we're a one-stop shop for all things geek. And me and my partner Dawn both do that, and then we're both also gaming here, streaming with Mercs pretty often. So yeah, check us out on Roll for Initiative for YouTube, or R4I Vlog on Twitter and Instagram.
Awesome. And then we've got CJ. You are over at Don't Stop Thinking, and I don't think I've stopped thinking since we started tonight. But why don't you tell me what you guys do over there?
Yeah, cool. Thanks. Yeah, well, I got a animated how to play D&D sort of tutorial at Don't Stop Thinking. That's my D&D channel. But right now, I'm also working on another channel that narrates the history from around the world. From currently, I'm doing a lot of Asia history from Asia and the rest of the world because they really need to be told. But yeah, if you like either one of them, D&D, go to Don't Stop Thinking. If you like history from the rest of the world, go to Cool History Bros. That's where I and a few of my friends are working on this channel that narrates the history of the world.
Awesome. That is so cool. Everybody's got something going on. I love it. I love working with all of y'all. And if you want to find more from me, you can look no further than here at Mercs of Mischief. I play Penathan Wright. If this hat looks familiar, it's because I'm a warlock on Mondays. But if you want to see more of my personal content, you can check me out at Noctem Skye on YouTube. I never played Skyrim, and I just started. So interesting. All right, though. I think we have a bone devil to dethrone, if I am not mistaken. So let's get right back into it. So, where we last left the party, a fight had broken out in this monastery. And, oh boy, I mean, y'all were giving them a run for their money. And maybe that's why the bone devil finally got off of his bone throne and devoured both of his, dare I say, top fighters, at least his guards. And so now he is standing before you, glowing with hellish flame and standing. He hasn't stood yet, and now he is. And again, he hangs it is uncanny valley up in here. There's just something wrong. Like, even for a fiend, this is not right. It's just a lot of, like, it does look puppety, but you don't see any strings, and one of you looked through invisibility, so that doesn't make a lot of sense. We have Hugh cutting wires. We have Dolus, who just had his prey snatched away from him. We have Zolkdor, who just healed himself and threw out a sacred flame. And we have Danthus, who still has one false image left, or mirror image. So, yeah, he just devoured these dudes and is standing before you. So I'm going to say that took his turn. So I'm going to go back into the turn order, and I'm getting rid of East Wind and West Wind because you don't get a turn when you're in somebody's stomach. I mean, I guess you could, but not this time. So we're going to say that puts us back at Dolus now.
First thing I would say is that my stomach has definitely gotten a turn after a couple of spicy tacos. So.
Right.
All right. Dolus isn't funny. I'm hilarious. Jeez. Okay, so I'm not, but I'm not engaged with the Bone Devil.
No, yeah, sorry. Let me get these guys off the map.
No. Don't. Please. That's totally cool. It's totes cool, brah. I'm gonna just, you know what? It's an oldie, but it's a goodie. I like it. I'm a classic kind of guy. We're gonna do good old Sacred Flame. We're a Sacred Flame.
All right, Sacred Flame, the Eldritch Blast of the clerics.
Yep, the Eldritch Blast.
Hit him with it.
I'm sorry. Can I close?
Can you close?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
I would like to walk forward.
Oh, close the distance. Yes, of course.
Yeah, I'll close the distance and cast Sacred Flame.
Hit him with it, man. All right. 13 is not enough to hit.
No.
That is going to spin off.
Fine. And then I will follow up as I'm wont to do as a war cleric with my flail. Hey!
That hits.
All right.
Give me that spicy radiant damage.
Freaking finally. Unfortunately, it's just... not yet. But, what is this? What I got? 1, 2, 8. Yeah!
All right. So yeah,
crit.
You come up on him and hit him in the side. And yeah, it just like gets him and it does some damage, but he just kind of leads over and he's like, "Ooh, aren't you a naughty boy? Save that for later." And he'll kind of like, you see that hand rocking and it almost like you can see it detach at the wrist, like it's coming off. And so yeah, anything else you would like to finish your turn with? Or
I don't think I've got anything else. That's my attack, that's my bonus, or it's my action and then my bonus. No, I don't think I got nothing else. Yeah.
You used your bonus to hit him in his bone ass. I do like that.
I did. I like it.
Nearby, and maybe not too happy about it with what's going on, is Hugh over by the cables. So yeah, this guy just devoured these dudes and got like a little bit bigger and is glowing red and just got spanked with a flail. Mm-hmm. So what are you doing over here on the side of the throne, Hugh?
All right, well, I'd feel silly not to keep doing what I'm doing, and so I'm committed. So I'm just going to try and cut through the rest of the cables and hope for the best.
All right, give me that strength check. I will say that even with a low roll, you still finish the second cable, because again, you had already cut through most of it. So again, that'll finish off the second cable. You still have one cable left. It does not shock you again. And yeah, it's just, you can see it's like, it's metal inside. It's like a bunch of tiny metal versions of this big thing inside this rubber or whatever casing it's in. So Yeah.
All right. And then bonus action, I will hide.
All right. All right, that's a little better. Yeah. So that'll be, we will see how that pans out. You are next to the throne, so you have a little area to hide in. Plus, Dolus is up there, you know, doing stuff. So, all right, Danthus, you still got your best friend. It's you and one person that's you, the only person you can count on against the world. What you doing?
Yep. Danthus is going to close the distance a bit. He's going to kind of jump up. So 1, 2, 3, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Yeah, so he'll kind of cut that in half there. Yeah. Still kind of staying off to the side a bit. The trickster will kind of, or the mirror image will kind of come up with him. And he is going to try and cast Hideous Laughter on this thing.
All right.
So yeah, he's going to take a feather out of his bag and just kind of wave it in front of him, and then point it at the bone thing, and yeah, so it has to make a wisdom saving throw.
All right, and I will say, what's it got to succeed? Does not matter because it probably doesn't.
It would have to succeed. Let's see, give me 1 second. I didn't give a number specifically, so I'm guessing it goes off of this. Is that, how do you calculate that again? It's your...
Is it your spell? Is it your spell DC?
My spell is charisma, so it's 16. The modifier 3.
We'll just say if it doesn't specify, it's probably your spell save DC. So yeah, we'll say it's 16. You know, because I mean, again, unless it's literally like 10, then he does not. So, what effect is going on? What is happening to him because of this?
Danthus kind of leans forward from where he's at. You smell of elderberries. And he, the bone thing, finds that hilariously funny, and falls into fits of laughter. Let's see. It can, so it is knocked, it falls prone, becoming incapacitated and unable to stand up for the duration. And then at each of its turns, it can make a wisdom saving throw.
All right. Perfect. So yeah, you hit him with this, you tell him this, and he just falls over again, much like how he started when you came in, except now he's just glowing bright and he's a little more horrifying. It's just like, ha, 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 I can't believe it. You said, and the elder bear, and he's just rolling. So he is prone on his throne. I wish it was made of bones, but it's not. So that joke kind of falls flat.
As a free action, Danthus will turn to the others. Now's the time. If there's anything else that we can do to get out of here, we should probably do it.
Okay, well, I'll open the door. Nobody have... we don't know if it is locked or not, so I'll just go open the door.
All right. Are you going to sprint over to the door and try to open it?
I will walk around the circle, but before that, as I am moving, 1, 2, 5, 6, I'm also going to cast a Dawn. It's a level 5 spell, and it creates a cylinder of light that's with 30... Yeah, a 30-foot radius. And if I can just like get the bone devil in it, every round, when it appears, and at the start of its round, it will take 4d10 of radiant damage if it fails Constitution save. Otherwise, it takes out of it.
Gotcha. If you actually go into your character sheet and click on the spell in your spell list, it should put it in the chat, and which will make it easier for you to read and reference with such. And that should work for any of you that have your spells loaded in. Oh, all right. Well, never mind.
No.
Sometimes they fall flat. So yeah, either way, it is a, what is the range on it?
30 feet radius, so it should be humongous, but can I place it somewhere outside where it doesn't hit the rest of the guys?
Sure. I mean, as long as, you know, I'm going to say if it doesn't specify a, oh, let me check. I do want to check because I've never heard of this and I'm super curious. So,
it's in Xanatar's Guide to Everything.
Oh, that explains why. Okay. And it doesn't have, it says the range, does it say you can center it on something, or is it centered on yourself, or do you place it somewhere?
Let's see. Yep. Down to a location I specified within range.
Well, then we're going to say that it goes wherever the heck you want it. So if you want it anywhere, it's going to make a 30-foot sphere.
Mm-hmm.
So just know that, you know, depending on if it hurts, I don't know, will it hurt allies? Because you may have to worry about that. I don't know if it's like a fireball effect.
It doesn't say... well, actually, it doesn't say that it doesn't harm allies, so I'm just gonna hope that, you know, for the best. So can I use...
I might say that the clerics might have a little bit easier time dealing with it, but I'm not sure about the rogues. They don't necessarily... Well, actually, one of you is relatively religious, so maybe we'll see. But yeah, go ahead and throw that down wherever you want to place it. Ah, okay, so the range is 60 feet. Which you still are plenty in enough room with anywhere near him, so you should be able to place it wherever you want within range.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's where you want it, or do you want to move it from there?
I want to move it, but I can't seem to pick it up.
If you click on the little top left on that column, there's a little select move, and you can click on the circle itself and drag it around. Or I can move.
Yeah, if you don't mind.
Where would you like it?
Just next to the full level.
All right. Do you want to try to center it like away from them? Do you want to try to just get him in it?
Just get him in it.
All right. Let's see. I don't know why I can't touch it anymore. Ooh, there it is. Well, I cannot seem to move the circle anymore for some reason.
Let's just say it is there.
Okay. We will do that. And then boop. That is the damage that it takes. Is there a save on it?
Yes. Constitution save, 17.
All right. Let's see. And you'll notice I could have clicked on it. I've just been rolling it regularly, but he does have a magical resistance, so that's why he's rolling with advantage on all these. You said con, correct?
That's right, yeah.
Boom. Oof. All right, so is it half damage if he succeeds? Or is it...
Right.
Okay, so yeah, he'll take the 15. I'll say even with the 20, he's not going to wriggle out of radiant damage like that.
Mm-hmm.
Not this dude. All right, so that's that, and does it persist is my last question.
Yeah, it works like Moonbeam, but it just has larger range.
Okay, and all right, so yeah, he is laughing, and he is currently in a pile on the ground, like on fire in more ways than one, and yeah, there's just this bright beam. I'm going to say, will you please, for me, damp this, make a straight con roll, and depending on how well you do, I will determine if it zaps your, either way it would hit your magical mirror image, but we'll determine whether or not it even hits that. You might pull it out of the way just in time.
Whoops, sorry.
Fireball. 12. All right. With a 12, I'm going to say that probably hits that. So yeah, we're gonna. You are this one, correct? I'm pinging.
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, we'll go ahead and get him out of there and say that. We'll say your positions were reversed. So he whatever jumped in front of you. But yeah, you are currently standing right beside just this blinding light. And you know Zolkdor, you heard him uttering the spell, so you knew what was going on, but it still caught you off guard. So that was that. Let's get back to turn order. All right, we are back at the top of the round with the Grand Master, and he is going to make his con save. Or wait, was it wisdom? I think it's wisdom for Tasha's hideous laughter. Yes.
Yes,
right.
correct. Boop. He has to beat a 14.
All right. So yeah, with a 19, he laughs, and he just kind of, he's still on fire, but he's just like, oh, that was a good one. And he shakes it was not a tear, it was flame out of his eye, and shakes it off. And he was like, but now it's my turn to tell the joke. And guess what? There's no hands on him anymore. Crazy how that works. So, this time, however, I'm going to need Dolus. The one roll is going to be against Dolus. I'll say the first one is Dolus, and the second one is going to be against Danthus. So, Dolus, here is your claw attack. Does a 14 hit you? No. All right, and here's Danthus. 24.
It does hit, and I'm going to use Uncanny Dodge to half that damage.
Awesome. All right, so on a hit, that's 1d8 plus 4. So, boop. So that's 4 damage in the end total that you'll take of a slashing nature across the back.
Great.
You've got to admit these are pretty handy. And yeah, they're back on his wrists again. But wait till you see the other one. And yeah, that's he's going to move. And Dolus, I believe you will get an attack of opportunity because I think he was already closer to you. I think he accidentally shifted. So you were engaged with him. So you'll get an attack of opportunity, but he's going to move. And yep, he will move right there.
All right.
He just kind of runs like skitters across. That will not break his AC.
Okay.
So yeah, it just kind of clatters against the throne as he skitters off through the light, and he will take the let's make the con save to see if he takes the damage from Dawn.
Well, he ends his turn outside of the radius. He doesn't take it.
Oh, okay. I thought it was if he
Don't get me wrong. I really wanted him to, but just to be honest.
Gotcha. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. So yeah, he skitters out, and the flames kind of start to dissipate, but you can see him. And yeah, Zolkdor, he is like much closer, and Danthus, he is much closer. You can see his tail whipping around as he runs by. And yeah, he's just kind of standing, looking at both of you between. It's like that Jurassic Park scene with the lake.
Mm-hmm.
So
I'll get a bit faster.
all right, and that's going to end his turn. So we are up to Dolus again.
All right. I will get as close as I can. 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. That's there. And we are gonna guiding bolt this jerk. There we go. Come on, you gotta tell me, please tell me a 20 hits.
No, a 20 hits.
Okay. All right. So for 19 points of radiant damage.
Heck yes. And I believe. Oh no, it's not. Never mind. All right, so yes, that's just straight up. He'll take that 19 damage, and that bolt just splashes up against his chest, and he stumbles a little bit. And yeah, everything's shaking on him, like more so than Bones normally would.
Ooh. And I do believe I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure I'm done.
All right.
Yeah, I'm done. Unfortunately.
All right. So Hugh.
All right. I'm going to take a break from the wires. I'm going to draw my short bow and sneak attack it as it runs away.
All right.
Let's see this.
Oh, nope, that will not break his AC. I will say though, you are in such a spot. From behind, you didn't see it at first, but there's a little gap behind the throne, and after you fire your short bow, you can see just out of the corner of your eye, in the heat of battle, a little eye open up behind the throne, and something shiny, and you just hear a little voice that to all of you is familiar, but no one asked about him, so you forgot him. Gearbox comes out from behind the throne and is like, "You guys forgot me! I was so scared! I was just in the mountain alone, and you left me in the Sphinx!" So he was following you from the beginning, but somewhere along the line, y'all lost him and forgot, and I guess he ended up here. But he's complaining, and he says, "Just cut that one!" And he points at the one wire you haven't cut. And I will give you a bonus action to cut the wire, because again, it's just cutting a wire. Like,
Want me to roll strength, or are we just going to do this?
Just for fun, roll it. You know, there's only one way this can go horribly wrong.
Natural.
Oh my gosh! Well, so close.
Yeah, you start cutting it, and you're cutting it, and this little robot's just like, "No, you're doing it wrong," and he just like walks up and like with his little hand flips into clippers, and he clips through it. And this one, when he clips through it, he kind of goes like, and he just like falls over. And now you hear these gears over here on the map. You hear them spinning. Something has changed, and you begin to hear some grinding sounds on top of that. Who knows what's going on? Maybe you were on to something.
Just maybe.
All right, so you got that cut. We will move on to, I believe it is, Danthus. All right, Danthus, you hear these gears turning, like all of a sudden behind you, or whichever way you're facing. I assume you're facing him, so it's kind of off behind you.
Yeah.
And you hear this grating sound start.
Danthus would look over his shoulder to kind of look and see where that's coming from, and what does he see over there towards the wires or wherever he thinks the sound is coming from?
So you see these gears that are set into the ground start spinning, and this area, there's a little hole that is forming in the middle, and it is like the metal is sliding in such a way that it is opening up this hole in the center, and in that center hole you see a deep fiery red glow.
Oh. Well, that changes things. He will use his free action and let's see. Who is that standing to his right?
That is Dolus.
He'll look over at Dolus and kind of nod his head towards the circle that is opening with the fiery red glow. And then he is going to, because this is Danthus, he's going to cast Mirror Image again.
Yeah, hit him with that mirror image.
And for now, he might move like up a little bit, just 10-15 feet with his mirror images and just kind of stand. Okay, and then that's it.
All right. Zolkdor. Damn, this has just made more clones, and the door is opening to, like, right behind you. It's exactly as you thought. It's a sliding mechanism that is opening this center area.
Okay.
Fiery red.
Yeah, we have a barbarian. We can just push the bone devil in, but I don't think it will work, with a bunch of cleric and rogues. So yeah, maybe let's Hail Mary it. I'm gonna cast Banishment on the bone devil. Well, I'm
yes.
yeah, 17 charisma save.
All right. DC 17. I love this, please. All right, so. You said charisma, correct?
That's right, yeah.
Boop. Oh, that second one, he just barely makes it.
Ah, okay. Well, right. Since I can't move this circle, can I make another one? Make another circle?
Yeah, if you can cast Dawn again, then you could. You want to make Dawn in the circle or on the circle?
Well, actually, I can use my bonus action to move Dawn while it is still up.
Oh, cool. Yeah, then definitely. We can move that. Let me. Don't know why. Yeah, there you go. We'll just say the other one doesn't even exist.
All right, yeah.
Because I, for some reason, cannot delete it.
Yeah, that's weird.
So, but yeah, this one will. So you want to put it in this circle like this, or next to?
And actually, somewhere over here. Yeah, that's right. So that he can't really approach me unless he wants to spend time inside the cylinder of light.
Gotcha. So you want to do it like maybe this?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay, so yeah. So now there is essentially a wall of like radiant light in between you and this bone devil. And everyone else for that matter.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'm going to taunt him with my long rolling tongue.
All right. Perfect. So that's that. And now we're back up to him. And he is genuinely, like, his jaw hangs open for a moment and he is looking at this circle. And he does not have eyes, but the sockets widen is the easiest way to explain it.
Right.
And he's like, how did I never think to cut the cables? He was onto something after all. But I can't go back yet. No. I mean, maybe we could all go. And he kind of broadens his arms and he is going to walk up and with both hands, he is going to make a grapple check. One on Dolus, one on Danthus. Now, Danthus, this will count against the mirror images. So if he does succeed, it'll just grab one of them.
I'm like 15 feet away from him.
They're not attached. Remember?
I get that tiny little hand.
Okay. He's
All
a
right.
large creature, trust me. Also, he might not even do it. You never know. So that's just gonna be a straight strength check against grapple checks are strength versus strength, correct? Okay.
Athletic.
Usually.
Okay, so yeah, both of you just roll me a straight strength check against a. We'll do the same order. Danthus first, or Dolus, then Danthus, just like we did last time. So the first one was a 13 on Dolus, to which Yeah, Dolus just arm wrestles this hand into the ground. There is no grabbing happening today. And same thing, he tries to grab at Danthus, but poof, one of the little mirror images just goes up in flame. And yeah, he just kind of stomps childishly and is just like, that's not fair. And so yeah, that'll be his go. So Dolus, you told this hand no.
All right, I said no. I said stop it. I'm going to. Oh, because. Oh wait, the dawn circle that overlaps the throne doesn't exist anymore, correct?
Nope, it is not there any longer. I just, for some reason, I'm having a really. Oh wait, maybe no.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't seem to delete it.
I was going to take the damage walking through it, but I don't have to. So I'm gonna close and get just a little bit behind him there.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm actually going to I double checked the wording of what something does. So I do believe that I can simply use a charge of my Ring of the Ram. And so I'm gonna do that. That's an attack that's made at a +7. So let's see if it does the math for us.
Yes, and if again you can use, I believe the way it works is you can use as many charges of it as you have if you choose to.
Yes, yeah, that is what it is. But it's so clicking on it, it's not doing anything for us. So it's an attack roll.
Yep.
+7. Okay, so it's not doing it if I do that, but
just roll a straight d20 +7 and we'll see where it goes.
Now, does it include? It doesn't include my modifier. It's just the rings modifier. Right?
Yeah, it's just the rings modifier because it's its own item.
It's a crit fail.
Yeah, I'm gonna say with that one, you fire up the ring.
Wait! No, I'm flanking. I have advantage.
Oh, hit me again. You are flanking. Hit me with that second roll. I want this to work.
That's a 17. I am going to expend my one divine channel of the day in order to give this a plus. I'm just double checking how much the plus is. A +10, so that's a 27.
Beautiful. All right.
I will expend all 3 charges. Yes. So that will be 6d10, and it shoves it 15 feet towards the opening aperture.
Mm-hmm. So, I am going to do you one better because you rolled a 27. It wasn't a nat, but it was still a 27 expending 3 charges of Ring of the Ram. So here is what everyone sees. Dolus hunks down and just gut checks this bone demon, this huge bone demon. And the bone demon flies back and the chest cavity just cracks where he's hit. And it like reels backwards and it's spinning, and something, as it is spinning with this force, shoots across the room and lands like right about here where I'm pinging on the way like far left corner of the map in a shadow. You can't really tell what it is. It's just something like maybe football sized. and it just collapses on the edge of the aperture. The bone demon. It just, from this hit, crumples and lays motionless as this aperture opens and opens and opens. And then it's like,
How close to the edge is it?
It landed right about here, and the aperture was about open to here. And as it's opening, though, it's pushing it in. It's like there's a lip, so
Like it's gonna fall in.
Yeah, it's scraping it in essentially.
Before it falls in, Dolus does want to sort of walk over to it and sort of kneel down. Dolus like almost 8 feet. Like Dolus is big.
Mm-hmm.
And kneels down next to it. Is it expired? Is it dead?
It would
appear.
It would appear so. It is not making any movements. I do want to real quick. I want to give you this, and then I want to give everybody essentially a reaction to this. So you give me. Are you just looking at it essentially?
No, I want to do one thing before it falls in.
Okay. So yeah, you're walking up to it, preparing to do this. What is everybody else doing? You just saw this happen, and this apparatus is opening, and this crumpled bone devil is laying on it as it opens up.
So I saw the object fly across the room out of the chest cavity.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to make haste towards that as quickly as possible.
Sure. I'll say in the confusion, you make it over there. And I will get back to what you find in just a second. What are the other two doing?
Danthus is just waving bye to the bone demon.
And 4 times.
Adios. Bye.
All 4 Danthus is just like high-fiving and just like, get out, bye. I'm done. All right. And then Zolkdor, you are on the other side of this wall of bright light. So you didn't see what happened. You just saw him, and then you saw this crumpled body fly across the room and land on this, and it's not even moving anymore.
Okay, great. Somehow the problem solved. All right, I will just continue sashaying to the door and try to open it.
Which door?
Are there more than one door?
So there's this door, which is down here on the bottom, like to the left of the throne, if you were facing outward from the throne. And then there's the door you came in at, which was this one.
Oh, okay. I will try this door then.
All right. So you can see and I will go back through and I'll go back in backwards order. You can see as you approach the door that something has, like, it was just a metal door, and it had like, little gray icons off to the side in the wall, and one of them is green now. And that's, if you try to open it, it will open. So that's that. Then, I mean, Danthus, you're just waving bye, so you're just enjoying that.
It was fun.
And then we've got, so Hugh, as you approach this object, the closer you get, at first you're almost like, is it, like a small engine? Is it a heart? Is it like, was it something he was using on his wrist? Like what? And you can't quite tell. And the closer and closer you get, it looks almost like an insect. And as you approach it, if you approach it all the way and you look down, it is a closet. It is a tiny devil themed, this big, like the size of a cat, and it's laying there motionless, just on the ground, dead.
So 100% all the way dead.
Oh yeah, it's twitching a little bit, like in the death throes kind of way, but it's dead.
Can I sleight of hand it into a bag?
You absolutely can. No one's paying attention. So
Perfect.
you don't even have to roll that. It is in your bag. You have a dead closet.
Excellent.
And Dolus. So what you doing? His body's about to get scraped off here like so much gum on sidewalk.
Before it goes, Dolus just leans down to the bone devil thing, and just says, "Pathetic," and unclasps the robe and puts it on.
Oh.
Oh no, he went there. I love it though. All right. So it's a little tattered, obviously, at this point, but it's still there. You got it. You have a cloak,
Face robe.
laid off faces. Congratulations.
Oh.
So yeah, and if no one's doing anything to stop it, it slowly falls in. But I want Damphus and Dolus to give me a perception check.
Sounds great. I'm so excited.
Yes.
Oh,
Perfect.
there. Nice. Yeah,
You-
23 twins.
Oh.
23 and me.
It's really weird because
Special.
you've both seen devils before. You know, they're still biological in some sense. This thing's chest cracked open has a tiny little seat inside. Wires and gears turning all around and little levers. Yeah, I mean, with those rolls, you see everything. There's little pedals and levers. And where the eyes were glowing before, it's all gone dark. You know, this was not a living thing. Maybe it never was, but it certainly looks like a bone devil. And it felt like a bone devil. But inside, that is not a bone devil.
Huh.
It did not quack like a bone devil.
Right? And as it goes in, if you look down into the edge, you can see a large room, and like off to the side, there's a little like door that opens up, and there's like coal being shoveled into it. And the body falls in, and it's this massive and you start hearing, because I mean, it shoots up. If you're standing near it, it's hot. It's not hurting you, but
Sure.
it is very hot.
Yeah.
And you start hearing like not an overbearing siren, but a little like just kind of like, and the thing starts closing again.
Dances will look.
Quality to make it do a thumbs up.
Dances will look around behind and just be like, "What the hell is this place?"
I actually kind of like it here.
I'm sure you do.
All right. So yeah, he's in the hole. There's still, are you all like reconvening, or are you all just chilling? What's the plan?
Yeah,
I'm
I'm gonna
going
walk back
over
up.
to the door that Door's at. Yeah.
All right. So are y'all all trying to go through this door?
Yeah, Dances will dismiss the mirror images.
All right. So you start to open the door, and you hear from behind you like a little coughing sound. And then you just hear a voice that you all know, but you might have forgotten about. And Gearbox steps around the corner all singed, and he's like, "You forgot about me again."
Gearbox, we can never forget about you. We just, shiny.
I almost died.
Danthus will pat it on its head. Top of it.
And then he's like, "Oh, what?"
Dolus just usually like kicks it, kind of like a gross cat.
Oh.
Like not kicks it hard, but shoos it away.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Danthus will put its arms. Don't do that to Gearbox. Gearbox is special.
Yeah, and you're about to see why. And he goes up to the door and he interfaces with it. and 2 more of the green lights turn on. And so the door opens, and he looks back and he's like, it would have taken you here if you would have opened it normally. You're welcome. And it opens, and inside there's like a room just full of, again, you've never seen it, but to explain it, it's screens and dials and levers and whatever. And as soon as it's open, Gearbox marches right into it. And he's like, oh, thank Primus, I finally made it. And he goes up, and in the center of the room, there is a brain in the jar. It's just a weird brain in a jar connected by wires and tubes. And he just, no ceremony, just is like, and he pulls it out and throws it off to the side, and it shatters. And then he nestles in, and all the things just shoot into him, and his eye goes wide, and he's like, yes, perfect, I'm integrated now. Oh, it was worth it. Almost getting eaten by the Sphinx, getting left alone all those times, but we finally did it. I suppose you guys want something too now. And so he like gestures. I'm assuming you all followed him in this.
Yeah.
He gestures and the door behind you slams shut, but the door behind him opens up. And when you look inside, it's a room full of machines you've never seen before, gold laying all over the place. There are crystals that don't look like any gemstone you've ever seen. Weapons made out of this black material that this spire is made out of. But the thing that you all are drawn to first is in the very center of the room, there is a large tome covered in gearwork. And, oh, go ahead.
Right, yeah, I'll just ask him, Gearbox, what in the world are you doing?
I'm showing you to the treasure room. I don't need treasure. I just wanted to be integrated for the Primus. This is the whole point.
Okay, how about Kwalish? Where is Kwalish?
Kwalish. And his eye like glazes over and you just see numbers and runes flashing across it. Kwalish. Oh. Kwalish was the creator of this place. Well, no, that's not. And he shakes his head. According to the database, this was an interplanar craft that Kwalish and a party discovered long ago. And there were no living survivors, so Kwalish used it for research and found all kinds of discoveries. But something drove him out. And, you know, you can't help but think about the horrifying monstrosity you just fought. And he says, so he left. I don't have any other information on his whereabouts, but that... And as he points, the pedestal the tome is on clicks and it releases, like it opens up because it was held in. It clicks and he's like, but that's got all the other information that hasn't been cataloged in the system. So take it and, you know, go. Y'all, you were nice to me, but the rest of you, the lizard, whatever. Just go.
So we don't think the brain is Kwalish, that you just, you know.
That was not Kwalish. That was the bone devil you just fought.
That is not true.
What?
Yeah.
That brain belonged to the bone devil.
I'm gonna pull the little demon corpse out of my bag.
Oh, God.
Yeah, that's the guy that was running the body. Where do you think the brain went? And he gestures.
I don't believe him at all.
Okay.
Let's ask the person in question. I'm going to cast Speak with the Dead to get the swap. What is that thing called? Yeah, to speak with us.
On the On Gearbox, the monodrone?
No, the
brain.
dead closet.
Oh, the dead closet. Sure, go for it. So,
All right.
yeah, you cast Speak with Dead on if Hugh is not opposed.
No, go for it. Let's figure out what this thing knows and confirm that Gearbox is up to no good.
So yeah, so here's the thing. You ask it like I assume pose the question like as you would to it, because like you do the spell and it's kind of spasming like where am I? I was just in the who are you?
We are just passerby, just curious people. Whose brain does this belong to anyway? I show him the brain.
That was Master. You took it from me.
What?
I didn't do it.
I was running this place for so long. The Master drove the crazy man out, but when he tried to use the machines, his body got tangled in it. I was able to save his brain so he could run everything, but I got to play God for a while.
Looks like everything checks out then.
Dolus is collecting weapon.
Go for it. There's all kinds in here. They don't make any sense yet, but they're in there. And yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say that that you all were able to hear this conversation that happened with this because when he cast this. So, yeah, that and I'm gonna say it just ends there as far as like that spell, or are you gonna keep it open and keep talking to him?
I'm just gonna keep talking to it because Zuktor's a really chatty lizard person.
Yeah, sure.
I'm talking about some nonsense. Well, that's it, pretty much.
I hate you.
No, you're already dead. It's being dead and holding a grudge will lead you nowhere.
I got to be a big devil for once. Do you know how lucky I was? Do you know what they do to my kind?
Well, you wouldn't feel big if you've never been small again. Right, so it just like wastes his time pretty much.
Yeah, and pretty much after this, it's just, I hate you. So that's how this conversation's going. So yeah, Dolus is collecting weapons. Zolkdor is harassing this dead closet. And what are Hugh and Damphus both doing?
Damphus is going to say that first. So, where did you get the dead closet?
It was the Bone Fiend. It was piloting it like a little machine, basically.
Right, and you decide to keep it in your bag there?
You never know. And now it was beneficial.
This group is crazy. Damphus is going to go and gather up some gold.
All right, there's plenty. There's gold, gems, anything you can imagine. And yeah, what is Hugh thinking after all this? Because you've got a gearbox who just gives you a very flat look and is just like, very smug.
Yeah, I still don't trust him or believe him. I think he's just trying to get rid of us so that he can do some weird stuff up here as the new brain.
Maybe.
Can I roll for, I don't know, insight to see if he's actually being legitimately deceptive?
You absolutely can.
All right, here we go. Oh.
Yeah, well, look, you've been hanging out with him long enough. I'm not gonna... I know we said roll, but you've been hanging out with him long enough to at least know some things about him. He's genuinely annoyed. He doesn't hate you per se, but he doesn't want to be around you guys anymore. And the whole time that he was traveling with you, he was working for the cartographer to map the region. But all the other conversations he had were about his home, like who he serves, like, and the idea of the Primus and Mechanus, and like, you don't think he's lying. like your gut feeling. You don't think he's lying. You just think he's done with this adventure. He was fun at first, and then he's just like he's been kicked one too many times.
Fair enough. Well, I'll let him go and go investigate the book.
All right. I'd like to think that after everybody wraps up what they're doing, you all end up around this book.
Mm.
All right. So yeah, this book, when you open it up, there's some like turning gears and such. It says author Kwalish. And then when you open it up, it has a logbook with different logs of experiments, things he crafted, things he discovered here, an entire like essentially autobiography about the expedition and everything that happened here. And toward the end, it ends rather abruptly with a quick sketch saying, "I've got to go where the oozes are. It is the only safe place left." And the last page is ripped out. And that is the Book of Kwalish. And also, that's where we're going to wrap up for the day.
All right.
Great.
Unless anybody has any last minute things they want to say they do, that is everything we've got for you today.
It's awesome.
You all live happily ever after.
This is the point where Dolus attacks everybody.
Yeah, that's fine. You took the
In the
robe
flesh
of
robe.
faces. Yeah, I mean we
Then
knew who
suddenly
the
a
bad guy
berobed
was.
figure drops from the ceiling and says, "Hold on there, Dolus. My name is Lenny, and I'd like to thank you all for joining us tonight. But before we go one last time, who is everyone? Where can we find them?"
Oh, all right. Let's go from the top again. Zolkdor, played by CJ of Don't Stop Thinking. Sorry.
Don't Stop Thinking, and Full History Bros. So yeah, check those out if you are interested in history, or if you are interested in animated D&D tutorial. Get your kids, get your parents to learn the game really quickly. Don't Stop Thinking.
Thank you. Awesome. All right, we've got Hugh, played by Lonny, over at All Things D&D. That's the right one.
Yep. So yeah, check out our narrated stories on All Things D&D YouTube. And if you have an awesome D&D story, like the one we just played, send it to us. And if it's good, we'll narrate it.
Love it. All right, we've got Steph playing Dampus at Madbird Streams.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
God, I almost said
Madbird
gaming.
Streams, which is a Twitch channel. They also have a YouTube channel where we do about 6 weekly campaigns. We have a couple of other shows going on with board games and like a Talks Machina sort of feel called Squawks. Yeah, and you can see past episodes over on our YouTube channel.
Awesome, beautiful. And last but not least, the man of many faces now, as I will refer to him, Dolus, played by Ryan at R4I, Roll for Initiative.
Yeah, absolutely. Me and my partner Don do Roll for Initiative on YouTube. That should be easy to remember. We all do it. And you can find us on Instagram and Twitter at R4I Vlog. And yeah, we just we play a lot of games, DM diaries and reviews and kind of all kinds of geeky stuff like that. Pretty much if there's something geeky you're into, we got some videos for you.
Awesome, beautiful. So go check out all these wonderful creators. Give them some love. The links are in the description below if you're watching on YouTube. And if you want to see more from me, you can catch me here at the Mercenaries of Mischief, or you can catch me over at my channel, Noctem Skye, where I do more gaming-related content. Well, this is gaming too, but you know what I mean. But that's everything we've got. That's the show, folks. It has been a wonderful experience DMing for all of you. I'm a very lucky dungeon master. I know I'm stealing all of Puck's lines, but I don't think you'll mind. So thank you all for joining me tonight. You've been wonderful. Audience, you as well, and our production team. So that's all my thank yous. And have a wonderful evening, and may the moon watch over you.
Stay tuned for the raid.
Come and listen to a story that will give you much elation about a little gnome who never used an evocation, never cast a necromantic spell to save his life, and never, never, ever abjuration.